Welcome, everybody, to the Gold Stripe Podcast. I'm Caleb,
I'm James.
and this is going to be our first episode of our new podcast. Me and James kind of started it. We talked about over break that we wanted to start a podcast and talk about just pretty much anything. It's going to be sports-based. But yeah, you have anything else to add?
It's just two college athletes, talking about sports.
It's very true. Me and James are both football players at Trine University. That's kind of the idea behind the name of the Gold Stripe is here at Trine for football, we have a gold stripe on the top of our helmets, and that symbolizes like a team that made it to the playoffs.
And won a conference championship.
And won a conference championship, which is in the MIAA, which is the oldest conference in the NCAA. Fun fact. Yeah. So it's not like it's an easy go about. Yeah. I mean, we had the stripe lost this year, but hopefully we get it back next year. But yeah, James and I are gonna get us going. So
all right,
what do we have for our first segment today?
Well, first let's just start off with a quick word of prayer.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yep. All right. Bow your heads with me. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, I just want to thank you for the opportunity that you gave me and Caleb today, Lord. Please help us use this platform to affect others and just have a good time. And please help the people viewing this that they have a good day, good week, and that you answer their prayers, Lord. And your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. So we're going to start off with the NFL playoffs.
Good week this week.
It was a great week. There wasn't any. Ravens game was a little bit of a blowout, but yeah. It wasn't a blowout in the first half.
No. It was a competitive game for the most part, and then the Ravens they were too much.
Yeah, absolutely. CJ Stroud, he did all that he could in the first half, and then it kind of just blew up.
Yeah.
I know we talked about it last week.
Mm-hmm.
I was saying that it was going to be a close game because what was the total, like 45 and a half or something like that?
Yeah, that was the over-under in points.
And I was saying it was going to be under. It was under, but barely.
Yeah.
But I thought it was going to be a lot lower. I thought it was going to be like 20-something.
I was thinking 20s for both teams.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. But.
Well, I was thinking like 15, not like 14 to 10. It was like, that's what at halftime, it looked like it.
Yeah.
But Lamar did his thing. I heard he had some excessive language. I heard he had some excessive language in the locker room at halftime.
Got his team fired up a little bit.
That's what you got to do sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
And then we're going to go to the next game, the Packers and the Niners. I know you're a Packers fan.
Yeah, it was a heartbreaker.
Believe it or not, James Ruppel, everybody, the Packers fans, said that they were going to lose last week.
I did think so. And my prediction, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was. CMC, we did hold them to under 100 rushing yards, which was definitely a positive for our defense, but unfortunately, our safeties could not guard George Kittle.
Yeah.
That was part of the issue.
The DBs were definitely a little bit questionable throughout the game, I would say. We talked about they're kind of picking fights. I think the whole weekend was pretty chippy.
Yeah.
We didn't see much really in the Texans-Ravens games. I'm sure there was a couple little spice of fire, but every other game was just like competitive and everybody knew what was at stake.
And I like to see that fire as a Packers fan, especially. Like, they were getting into it, and it made the game more fun.
Yeah, for sure. And it definitely, it gets in people's heads. Like, it keeps them mentally tough. And, like, we saw with Trent Williams, like, he had that shove. Yeah. It was definitely a flop, but you got to know the time and place.
Yeah, that's going to get called as an offensive tackle.
Oh, yeah. But Jordan Love, he played a pretty gosh darn good game. Until that very last play. I would say I'd say he played better than Brock Purdy.
I think so too. Brock Purdy, the thing that's deceiving with the stats is Jordan Love had 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
But Brock Purdy should have had 2 interceptions, and one should have been a pick 6.
Yeah.
So Brock Purdy got bailed out a couple times, and it's pouring down rain, so it's tough for QBs in that too. But
we saw Deebo Samuel go out. Was it a shoulder injury? Was that what they said?
Yeah, I believe so.
So his status is still to be determined for next week against the Lions. But right before the podcast, we were talking about it, that there's been a little bit of some disputes going on over Twitter between, is it Deebo and who was it?
C.J. Gardner Johnson.
Yeah. So there's already some some words being exchanged between
Yeah.
the teams. It's already looking to be a great matchup. The Lions having their miracle run. They had a great win over the Bucks, who was a hot Buccaneers team.
Hot Buccaneers team for sure.
James Ruppel, everybody. Do you want to tell them why you're so excited the Buccaneers lost?
Well, I might have made a bet that I would shave my head if the Bucks made the Super Bowl because that's how
no,
confident
you said
I
if
was.
Baker Mayfield won the Super Bowl.
Not even that. I just said make the Super Bowl.
You just said make it?
Yeah, I didn't think he was making it.
So they were 2 wins away.
Yeah.
If
a
they won.
little nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Baker did do his thing,
Baker did his thing. Mike
349
Evans
yards.
did his thing.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Evans reminded everyone that he's still relevant in this league. And it's still like he still has that dog in him.
Well, Mike Evans, I feel like he's one of the most slept-on
Oh, 100%.
receivers in the NFL every single year.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, how many years in a row has he had 1,000 yards?
I have
It's
no
like
idea.
8, I think. I don't think he's ever been in the league without 1,000 yards.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, he had – who did he have before Tom Brady?
Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston.
So, yeah. You never know what you're getting with him.
You never know what you're going to get with J-Bo. But, I mean, yeah, Mike Evans, he balled out. I saw a meme. It was like the Spider-Man Tobey Maguire where he's like on fire and like his suit's like torn up and stuff. And it was like that DB after guarding Mike Evans in the first half. But I mean, the Lions still tuck it out. They win 31-23, move on, play the Niners. But what a turnaround. I mean, I would not. The end of the year last year for the Lions, they got hot.
Yeah, they did.
They got real hot. They didn't make the playoffs.
No.
But we knew coming into this year that this was going to be a different team. And they showed that.
Well, there's just a different energy around Detroit right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the kind of mentality they have, I mean, they have the mentality of like winning football. And what that takes is toughness, grit. I mean, that's their go-to line. They grit. I mean, and that's what wins you playoff football games. We saw it with Miami and Kansas City. Unfortunately, they're just not that tough. Miami isn't, and it showed.
Mm-hmm. But I think the AFC and the NFC, it's going to be a battle for the next year. Like, there's not really been like a dominant division. Like, both divisions are tough. Like we see in the AFC where we have the big battles between the Chiefs and the Bills and the Bengals and the Bills and Bengals and Chiefs, and the Colts are getting hot. The Lions are in the NFC. They're getting hot too. And then the NFC is like just big plays all the time, like big scores. Like it's
the NFL's in a good place right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like people are hating on it because it's so young, but like the NFL is fun.
Yeah, it is.
It may not be like the big hits like it used to be, but I mean it's still a lot of fun. Like the game is getting crazier, like it's getting bigger. The receivers are like there's not a bad receiver on any team.
Yeah,
like every team has their receiver. Every team pretty much has their running back. The quarterbacks are a little bit questionable right now. Like,
well, the thing with the QBs, I feel like, is they're just held to such a high standard now.
Yeah.
Because you look at like Zach Wilson in New York, he has a lot of talent, but unfortunately in today's NFL, average isn't going to get the job done.
Yeah.
Even like Jared Goff this year, I mean, people were calling to replace him, and he's still having a heck of a year. So you have to be elite in the NFL to make it as a QB.
Yeah, and you don't have much time.
No.
Like the NFL, like you got 3 games to prove yourself pretty much in this league. Like, and if you don't, then you're going to get benched. Like we saw that with Zach Wilson. He got benched. I mean, and you talked about it. Like Zach Wilson is the better quarterback, like instead of his backup. And the fact that he got benched, like it's just a winning. That's the mentality is like if you can't do your job, then you're moving on. Yeah, and you have to move on. So, and we've seen that with like backup quarterbacks all the time. Jimmy Garoppolo got benched.
Yeah.
And it just, yeah, I mean, that's the NFL for you. That's the business. If you're not doing your job, you're going to get moved on.
Yep.
But yeah, so we got 2 great matchups on Saturday and Sunday. And we want to move on to our next segment. If I can find it.
The top 10?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
So this week, so what we're going to do in our podcast, for those listening, is we're going to try to do different segments every week just to mix it up. This week is going to be our top 10, so our top 10 movies. And so James is going to give his top 5, and I'm going to give my top 5, which will be our 10. And if you guys have any ideas, we're always open to it, unless your name is Mike Palmer or Wesson Ludwig.
Yeah, we don't want to hear from you guys.
Yeah, those are the only 2 people that we don't want to hear from. But everybody else, please send them in. We'll drop a message or an email in there. But yeah, we're just trying to make it as fun as we can for everybody. Like, it's fun for us just to be able to talk sports like anytime we can. So yeah. So James, you want to hit us with your top 5? Just give us like start from 5, go up to 1,
All right.
And just kind of break it down for us why you like it.
All right. So at number 5, I got Gladiator. If you've watched it, you know it's a classic. It's one for the ages. It's a great story of resilience and just fighting no matter how much you've lost. Keep fighting. So honestly, I just like it because there's a lot of battles, a lot of killing. So
Yeah.
at number 4, we got The Godfather. I mean, that's just a classic, New York thriller of what it was like to be living in New York with a mob boss as
Being a
father.
gangster.
Yeah, being a gangster. I mean, that's the American dream, really.
So you said this like just The Godfather, like the first one, or like the whole
The
series?
first one, the first and the second are pretty good. But, I mean, The Godfather is a series.
Mm-hmm.
It's more number 4.
Okay.
Just good movie, a lot of conflict, a lot of emotional battles picking between family and the business.
Yeah.
But what do you do if they're intertwined? So
It's true.
at 4, we got Interstellar.
Interstellar.
That one messes with your mind.
It does. It's a great Christopher Nolan film.
Christopher Nolan, he just cranks out the classics.
Yeah. We were talking about this, but we said that I was saying that Interstellar is overrated for where it's placed in like top movies.
Really?
Because like it's a great movie, but it's not the best movie. Like people always hype it up to be like, "Yep, this is the greatest film of all time."
Well, I think it very well could be.
But it's on your number 3.
That's it. Listen, there's only 2 movies better than it, so
But, like,
it's in contention.
But everybody's just like, "Yeah, this is the greatest movie ever produced of all time." I'm like, it's just not true. It's not true.
That's the
It's a
beauty.
great movie. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell people it's overrated because of how
Because
high
it's
it is.
such good.
It's so good,
Yeah,
but it's overrated.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one.
Okay.
But you know what? That's the beauty of it. No one's right, no one's wrong, except for
guess.
maybe that one. All right, at number 2, we got Shawshank Redemption. I mean, that's just a good movie.
Great movie.
I mean, an emotional ride for you, and you're just rooting for the main character the whole time. I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys, but man, good movie. And at number 1, one that came out this summer, another Christopher Nolan, Oppenheimer.
Great movie.
I just love the way they portrayed him.
Mm-hmm.
They did such a good job making him seem so relatable, but at the same time, like making people realize like how conflicted he really was with his like life and his decisions.
Yeah.
And stuff.
And it's crazy how he was able to like reflect it to today,
Yeah.
because it's a movie about a historical event,
Yeah.
but like it still affects us today
Mm-hmm.
with nuclear warfare, and I think that's what Christopher Nolan is so great at, is like being able to affect the audience, even though like the movie it's a movie
Yeah.
or it's already happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean Christopher Nolan. I mean I have a few Christopher Nolan films on my list. He's just a great director.
Yeah.
I think he's the best.
Yeah. And I love the way in the movie where he went into the whole bomb making process, but then also went into the politics side of it and like actually went into Oppenheimer's life.
Yeah.
And how they tried to blackmail him, all that after, he got out of the military with his, communist ties and all that. So
Right.
it was just a good movie, good storytelling. I really
Okay.
enjoyed it. Really good cast too.
Yeah, it's pretty
It's
pretty star-studded cast. I was pretty excited when I saw Roderick from Diary of a Wimpy Kid in there. Did not expect that one. All right, so on to mine. At number 5, I have this here because I think it's like it's more of a recent movie I watched. American Sniper. Great movie based on a true story. But it just shows you like the actual like what happens to a person in the military.
Yeah.
And what they have to go through when they come home, and that like once you take a life, like it affects you. Like
Yeah, permanently.
like for the rest of your life. And and it goes through like what he has to go through the rest of his life, bouncing back from coming home, going back, coming home, going back, and it's just a great movie. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. There's a bit of some action in there that's kind of scary, but it's a great
Good
movie.
Comes to a tragic end though. And by the way, what's that guy's name?
The actor or the actual guy?
No, the actual guy.
I have no idea.
I can't remember. But I just saw a video about him today. It was like they were saying how most snipers can only sit in like the sniper position, like aiming at people for like 15 minutes.
And they were saying like a whole day, didn't he?
That dude could do it for 2 hours straight.
That's crazy.
And like just perfectly still 2 hours straight. That's pretty impressive.
Chris Kyle,
yes.
Chris Kyle.
Yep.
All right. So my number 4, this one is more of like a hits home for me because like I grew up a Star Wars fan, and like I'm still a really big Star Wars fan. But at number 4, I have Empire Strikes Back.
Ooh, good one.
It's number 4 number 5.
Yeah,
number 5 in the series, like of the order, not by release date. It was big when it came out. It's still really big today. But I think it's probably my favorite Star Wars movie. Just like I could watch it over and over. Like, Luke, I'm your father.
I mean, that's a line that everyone knows.
I mean, you see it. Like everybody's seen it probably. If you haven't, you're probably living under a rock.
Yeah, there's no way.
Or you're just being arrogant. But it's a great movie. Grew up playing Lego Star Wars with the Wii.
Those games were legendary.
Like, I mean, I have the new one now, and it's just not the same. Like, being able to wake up early, playing it on Saturday mornings, watching cartoons, like,
yep,
it's different. All right, at number 3, we kind of had a debate about this earlier. For my number 3 movie is The Truman Show.
Good movie.
It's a great, like, messes with your mind movie to think about. It's not like a psychological, like, type movie, but like just thinking about it, knowing that like not knowing that who around you is actually your relative or your friend or actually like in your life.
Yeah, like that one scene where they're on the broken bridge, like he's with his best friend and he's like, I wouldn't lie to you.
Yeah.
I'm your best friend. And it's like,
and they're just telling
he's
him
in
that.
on it.
Yeah. That's
like
crazy.
that's scary stuff.
Yeah. What I was saying is like Jim Carrey before this movie is just he's just a for laughs kind of like comedian and like actor.
That's the beauty of it.
Yes, but like if you want a good movie, like a comedy movie is not going to be than that.
That's true.
Like a comedy movie is just going to be for the funny.
Yeah.
It's not going to be for the actual movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Whereas this is like you see like the serious side of Jim Carrey and what he's like, how he interacts with this and how he plays on with it. And the ending is just like, I would say it's one of the best endings in a movie. Like it's like the perfect ending. They don't go into a sequel. Like they don't need to.
Yeah.
There's no need to. People want it, but like there's no need to. Like it's the perfect ending. You can make all the assumptions you want, like what's gonna happen next.
That's normally when the best movies are a thing.
Oh yeah. When they don't like
when you have to think for yourself.
Like
what
I was shocked what they did. Bouncing off of this, like I was shocked what they did with the Maverick movie,
Top Gun.
I was shocked when they did a sequel for that because I was like, that's a perfect ending.
It was a perfect ending.
And then they're like, "Yep, let's give this one," and it's another good movie.
But it was a great movie.
Yeah, like it just bounced off of it, and so I'm like,
huh, like that was impressive.
But you don't see it very often.
No.
Usually, if people try to reboot something, it
normally
fails.
terrible.
It fails, like Space Jam. It fails.
Space Jam, Thunderstruck, terrible.
Yeah.
Nothing like the original in most cases.
Pretty much. I mean, it's just you can't remake a classic.
Yeah.
But number 2, I have another Christopher Nolan film, The Dark Knight. Great Batman film. Probably my favorite right now. The Batman, the newest one, is probably coming up soon. At like 6 or 7 on my list, but like Christian Bale does a great job. Heath Ledger does a great job as the Joker. Probably the best Joker adaptation we've seen. Like the fact that it was Heath Ledger's last movie, pretty much, in itself is like
It makes it that much
the
better.
movie too. And like just hearing like the stories from the other actors of them saying like how he was portraying that character and how he would get into character. Like I saw the guy that does Two-Face.
Yeah.
He said when he was on like on the hospital bed, he said that Heath Ledger literally walked around him for like an hour straight.
Oh,
And
I saw that.
like,
Yeah.
Just like getting like psyching himself into character, and he was just like, "This guy is crazy."
He was perfect for the role.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like people had like speculations too when like he was first out, like just reading articles and they're like, Heath Ledger's not going to do a good job. Like he's not like that type of actor. Blah blah blah. Well, look at him now. What were they wrong? But number one, not many people probably know of this movie, which I'm shocked about. But it's another Christopher Nolan film, in The Prestige.
The Prestige.
The Prestige. It is a movie about two magicians played by Hugh Jackman and Christian Bale, who do amazing jobs for any of their roles. And they're basically like, well, the premise of the movie is about The Prestige. And The Prestige is the fourth act in a magic act where they start out. Number one is like the magician tells you what he's going to do. Like you need to pay attention and you need to follow along, like know what my moves are. Then number two, he shows you like what the act is. He portrays it. Then number three, he gets you to believe that you know what's going to happen next. And then number four, he shows you that you weren't paying attention at all and that you don't know what's going to happen next. And that's what The Prestige is that fourth act. And that's the premise of the movie, is like you're following along, and at the very end of the movie is when you're like, what the heck?
So the ending's like totally different than what you expect.
Crazy plot twist.
Really?
Craziest plot twist in cinema.
Wow.
It's up there. Like I think it's literally ranked at like 2 or 3.
Wow.
Like it's up there as the craziest plot twist. And it's just like, it's like that's really what happens. And you're like, that's not what I thought, but that's also crazy.
Yeah.
But also another star-studded cast. Like I said, Hugh Jackman, Christian Bale, Michael Caine, the butler. He's Alfred in the Batman movies. He's in that movie. David Bowie is Nikola Tesla. Like,
yeah, that's.
And there's someone. I think there's a few more. Like in it, like, people want to be in these Christopher Nolan films.
Well, he's arguably the best director of all time.
He's arguably the GOAT.
Yeah, I would say so.
Like in our time, he's definitely
in
the
our
best.
time for sure.
I'm sure there's like older guys.
That's what I was thinking. The old heads are probably going to say something random.
Like, he just does blah blah blah.
He just copied so and so.
Yeah, but like he just does an amazing job. Like I don't think he's had a movie that's flopped.
No.
Like people don't really know about The Prestige that well. It's like it's my favorite of his films. Like it's just crazy what he's done in it. But yeah, that's our top 10 for this week. Like we said, if you guys have any other ideas for different topics or different segments that we could do, just shoot us them and we'll hopefully get them into another episode. But James, do you want to send us to our next topic?
So we got some things to look forward to this week. And obviously, we got the NFL playoffs.
We do have the NFL playoffs. We got the Ravens versus the Lions.
No.
The Ravens
versus the Chiefs.
I swear, dude. These teams, we mix them up.
It's because the Lions are never in the playoffs.
I know.
That can be your excuse.
The Ravens versus the Chiefs and the Lions and the Niners. It's going to be 2 great games.
It should be.
Me personally, I want the Ravens to win because I don't want to see Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl. Because
that would be.
Literally going to be
worst.
That's going to be every single segment of the Zerga they're going to go to.
Paying a commercial break, and there's Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah, it's going to be Travis Kelce makes a play, Taylor Swift.
Hey, at least last time, last week when Jason Kelce scored, or Travis Kelce scored, Kelce, they showed him a little bit.
Oh yeah,
because he took his shirt off. But
I mean, did you see him drinking the bowling ball before the game?
Yeah.
I mean,
he's a character.
Jason Kelce, their podcast is awesome.
Awesome podcast.
I mean, I wish we could be as cool as them.
No, we just can't though. They're the Kelce brothers.
I strive to be like them.
Yeah, that's our goal.
Hopefully one day we'll be on their podcast together.
Yep. Yep. Shout out Travis and Jason. Get us on there sometime.
Yeah,
we'll talk some D3 sports with you.
Get on New Heights. Yeah, we'll give you some insight at some
Yep.
Division III football. But I mean, there's like great personalities. Both gonna be Hall of Famers.
Oh, for sure. Should be first ballot, I think, both of them.
Oh yeah. I mean, unless Travis Kelce keeps playing like he was before last week.
I think he's still one of the greatest tight ends of all time, even how he's been playing.
I mean, he's been playing.
But hey, 2 touchdowns in a playoff game and 75 yards. I mean, can't complain.
I mean, yeah. I mean, he's had that ability. I think people are gonna say it's to Taylor Swift and blah blah blah. But I just think he just has so much going on in his life, anyways. Like Jason, he probably knew that this was gonna be Jason's last year, and he probably has so much going on with the publicity of not having really any more privacy.
Yeah,
because he's also a big superstar, and she's the biggest thing there is right now. So it's probably hard for him. I cannot imagine.
Yeah, and also
I would not want to be in that spotlight.
Yeah, Father Time's also catching up to him.
That's very true. That's very true. And defenses are kind of catching on. They're trying to they're the main priority is him right now.
Yeah, well, one of the problems is he's the only real weapon on
Rashid Rice,
proven weapon.
Rashid Rice,
he is a weapon. He's very good, but I mean, Kelce has that aura about him. And he's been there before, and he's made big plays. So
yeah, I mean, Rashid Rice definitely had himself a game, helped them go to a win. Isaiah Pacheco had himself a game as well. We rushed for. She had 205. Oh wait, that's not right. That's the season. I mean, Isaiah Pacheco runs like a mad toddler, but
yeah, 97 yards and a touchdown. So average 6.5 yards per carry. So that's pretty good.
Yeah. Mahomes did his thing. Going back to the Bills-Chiefs game, what were your thoughts on that game? I feel like we didn't talk about that.
No, I think we might have skipped right over that, but we'll go back to it now.
I honestly didn't have high expectations, if I'm being honest.
It was a good game for sure.
People are saying it was the game of the year. I don't think so.
Nah, I don't think it's even close.
People always want to say that because that's all it is nowadays. It's just Chiefs-Bills or Chiefs-Bengals or Bengals-Bills. That's the three right now.
Yeah, in the AFC. But now the Ravens, they should be here for a while.
I feel like the Ravens are a very underrated team for how good they are.
Yeah.
They're the real deal.
That defense doesn't get the respect it deserves.
No, it doesn't. And Lamar Jackson doesn't get that respect, I don't think, right now.
Yeah, I mean, he had 4 touchdowns. And the defense held C.J. Stroud to no touchdowns and 175 yards.
What did Mark Jackson call him? Action Jackson?
Probably.
Action Jackson? He's that guy. He's the MVP. He solidified his MVP statement.
Oh, 100%.
In that game against the Texans, and I mean, they're running away with it right now.
Yeah, I don't see any way they lose. I mean, they're playing Patrick Mahomes, so you can't rule them out.
Yeah, but the Chiefs defense didn't do a great job holding Josh Allen up.
The only difference, though, I feel like Josh Allen's more of a between the tackles guy, where Lamar's outside. I feel like Kansas City has the speed outside where they can.
Yeah, but they let Josh Allen scramble a lot.
That's true, but I'm saying on design QB runs, I feel like they're almost in better shape with Lamar than they are Josh Allen.
He's also bigger. Josh Allen is
way bigger.
But
Lamar
Jackson is also quicker and shiftier.
And
it's hard to bring him down, especially at the level he's playing right now.
His little, his little side step or step back.
I think the Ravens win this game.
Yeah.
It's at the bank, like they said.
I think they win handily. I think it's like 10. I think 10.
It's close in the first half, like we saw against the Texans. And then the third quarter kind of decides the rest of the game. If it's close, then it's going to be close. If it's not, then we're going to see it get blown open.
Well, that's the thing with the Ravens, too. They kind of wear you down with that run game and chasing Lamar everywhere. I mean, that's the thing. Those defensive linemen, if they to bring Lamar down, you need guys chasing from the backside. So when he makes those moves, he's not getting to the open field and accelerating. So those D linemen and the defensive ends are going to be gassed for sure. The linebackers are going to have to be running all over the field if they want to stop them, and that leads to cramps or just getting tired in the second half.
And then at 6:30, we have the Lions and Niners.
I'm looking forward to that one.
That's going to be a good one. The Lions are still kind of on that Cinderella run. They don't think so. They think that this is just what they do.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen this before. This is all new for us, and
especially us youngins.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've seen the Lions go years with winning one game.
Yeah,
and it's been ugly. And you think that they're just the joke of the NFL, and now they're like, yeah, we've got that dogs in us. They're playing great ball. Jared Goff, he's playing great ball.
He's playing good.
I mean, all of them are just playing. Their defense is playing stellar. I mean,
do you think they can stop the weapons, especially if they have Debo, the 49ers? Do you think they have, the capabilities to stop them, especially with a questionable, back end with the safeties for the Lions? Because those guys, I mean, those probably the weakness of their defense.
It's in San Francisco. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say it because like what we saw against the Packers, the Lions played the Packers on Thanksgiving, right?
Yep.
And Jordan Love exposed them.
Yeah.
And Jordan Love almost exposed the Niners as well.
But I think Jordan Love is better than either the two quarterbacks playing.
I agree. But I'm saying that the way that the Lions weren't able to handle the run against the Packers, it's going to be a long day for the Lions against the Niners.
Yeah. And I mean, just listen to the game on Saturday. Listen to the announcers talk about how Kyle Shanahan, he's going to run the ball when he wants to run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He's not going to let defenses dictate. And I mean, he's going to run with CMC however many times he wants.
I mean, and they have Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
They have Deebo Samuel. I mean, they had
that O-line they got, it's pretty good.
Trent Williams.
Yeah, he's a stud.
I think Trent Williams is probably the scariest dude in the league.
Oh, yeah, he's got to be.
He's up there. If not, he's like, imagine walking by Trent Williams and tell me you're not scared.
Oh, I'm terrified instantly.
You definitely peed your pants a little bit.
A little bit.
He's a big dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there are going to be two great games. Hopefully the Chiefs don't win so we don't have to watch any more Taylor Swift for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think either way, I mean, whoever wins it's going to be a great Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, the Baltimore 49ers Super Bowl.
Could be a rematch.
Could be. You think it's a blowout again?
It depends if the lights go out or not. But we'll see. I mean, if it's Ravens-Lions, it's going to be a great game. If it's Ravens-Chiefs, not Ravens, Chiefs, Chiefs-Lions, Chiefs-Niners, all four, those could be all great games.
I'm really looking forward to a rematch of the Ravens-Lions game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping the Lions win and the Ravens win because I think the Lions, I mean, when they played the Ravens and
it's going to be electric
or whatever, it was like 38-6, and I think the Lions, have kind of circled that game.
Oh yeah,
and been like, if we're playing them, it's going to be a battle.
That's usually how it happens too.
You
see the blowouts, and then it's hard to beat a team twice.
Yeah, for sure, especially a good team like the Lions.
Yeah. Especially when they're going to bite your kneecaps off.
Yeah.
And then come back down and bite your kneecaps off again.
They don't care.
They're just going to take bites off you.
Did you see the CJ Gardner-Johnson hit on Tyler Higbee?
Yeah, I did.
You think that's a dirty play?
Yes, I do.
Wow. I don't think it's a dirty play at all.
I think it's a dirty play.
Why do you think that, though?
Because he went he literally speared his knee.
That's how you got to tackle, though.
Just tackle him straight up like a man.
You can't.
I hate ankle biters. Ankle biters.
Okay, but see, that's because you're an offensive guy. As a defensive guy, you expect a safety to hit a tight end.
Okay, but you're never as a defense player going to get your knees taken out like that.
That's not our problem. Matthew Stafford shouldn't have thrown it right into the safety.
Okay, the dude did not have to go for his knees though. So he could have blindside nailed him.
Higbee would have eaten that because CJ Gardner-Johnson's 190 pounds.
Listen, if he would have had the same hit higher up, the fact that it was his knees and the fact that he did the exact same thing, didn't he do it to Laporta?
Hawkinson.
Oh yeah, Hawkinson. He did the exact same thing to Hawkinson. That's why I think it's a dirty hit because it was literally the same exact thing.
That's your job as a defender, inflict pain on the offense, make them pay.
Yeah, but you didn't see that back. Everyone's like, oh, back in the day, people would never throw that ball, blah blah blah. Yeah, but back in the day, they didn't hit him at the knees; they hit him straight up.
Yeah, but it's a different era, man. That back in the day, the tight ends were 200 pounds, and those guys were considered big. Now the tight ends are 250 and 6'5".
Tight ends back in the day were fat. They were just
exactly.
They were just excessive linemen that could run a little bit. Like
Yeah.
you didn't see the Gronk was like a new species.
Oh, well, I mean, Gronk is a different species in general.
Yeah,
But
he
yeah,
is,
I know
but
what you're
like,
saying.
for the time like
Yeah.
that he came in, like that mid 2000s, like he was a different breed.
Yeah.
I think it's a dirty hit.
I don't think it's a dirty hit because I don't see what he's supposed to do in that situation.
Hit him straight up.
You can't hit him high.
You don't have to hit him. Wrap him up.
You can't, though,
How?
because they're so big.
You pop him.
He's a
and wrap him.
DB, though.
James, you pop him and wrap him up. You don't have to just nail him. Sure, he's gonna eat that. Sure, he's gonna eat that.
Your job is to inflict pain on the offense. Going low
James,
inflicts pain.
James, listen.
That's all I'm saying.
Listen.
Wide receiver over here doesn't like to get hit.
I don't care about getting hit, but your knees, taking the knees out, he went straight,
That's a football play.
going straight for the knees.
He dove. He wasn't
James.
even looking. It's not like he's aiming for the knees. He's aiming for his legs.
He aimed for the knees.
He could hit his foot. He could hit his hip. You just dive, and then you hit where you hit.
You'd be the type of guy to tell me that the hit on Michael Pittman Jr. is a clean hit.
I don't know which hit that is. So
When he dove for the ball and the DB nailed him midair,
yeah, but was the ball in play though?
the ball was in the air.
Oh, exactly. And he's good.
He hit the dude while he was diving for a ball in the head.
He's diving for the ball too.
He wasn't diving for the ball. He was still up.
All I'm saying
Tom Brady
is-
was saying how blah, blah, blah.
Thank you. I'm with Tom Brady on that.
I wouldn't have thrown that ball, blah, blah, blah. Okay.
I think the NFL has gotten soft on QBs. I'm with Tom Brady on this one.
Soft on QBs.
Yes. The
What are you
QBs
talking
don't
about?
have to protect their guys like they used to. Like I'm saying soft on the QBs mentally. Because back in the day, I mean, you had a good middle linebacker like Ray Lewis. You're not throwing across the middle.
Yeah, but Ray Lewis is going to hit you straight up. He's not going to go for your knees and ankle bite.
I mean, Ray Lewis will kill you either way. So
Okay. But you're more likely to break your knees after that hit and tear your ACL than you are to like get knocked out of the game straight up. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, but it's just because the defenders had a disadvantage though. That's the only reason he's going low. It's not because he's trying to hurt him, but he's not going to make the tackle if he goes high. That's the reason.
Then just get bigger, get stronger.
That's not his fault.
You're in the NFL for a reason.
That's not his fault.
How's that not his fault? He's getting paid.
He's got to
millions
stay
of
quick
dollars.
though. He's got to stay quick.
He's getting paid millions of dollars to play this game at a high level, and he has to go for the knees.
Yeah, because that's how you play football.
And TJ Hawkinson has to get ACL surgery and MCL surgery now because of that.
Because the QB threw him into it. Yeah.
Okay, he could have hit him straight up.
I think the QBs need to have more accountability for injuries. That's what I think.
Okay, but the QBs are getting injured at such a high rate right now. We've seen more backup play in probably the last couple of years than we have ever. If we're gonna be real, there's probably more backups.
I'm sure it feels like more, but I feel like it's probably about the same.
I feel like the backups.
I feel like the good teams have backups now. Like it's more good QBs getting injured now, and that's why it feels like it's different.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you don't see Patrick Mahomes doesn't really get hurt. Josh Allen doesn't really get hurt. Lamar Jackson doesn't really get hurt. Joe, what do you mean?
Lamar gets hurt. I mean,
yeah, but he's not like it's season ending.
oh yeah, but he gets hurt though.
I mean, we saw Joe Burrow get hurt this year. He's been kind of injury prone. Trevor Lawrence. I'm just naming off AFC teams right now.
Yeah,
Sounds like it's the AFC is the Wild West right now. I don't know. You hate to see a guy go down at the knees though. Like that's scary.
you hate
It's scary
to see
for
it,
anybody.
but it's a part of the game. That's the problem.
Is it though?
Part of the game, man.
I feel like he could have done the exact same tackle, but not lead with his head.
Man, the head's gonna lead no matter what.
But you can lead with your shoulder. Tack him at the shoulder.
The injury was gonna happen either way though.
You're not gonna let me win this.
No, we're gonna have to agree to disagree on this one. But I'm a fan of the old NFL. That's what I'm a fan of. They're getting paid millions of dollars. They can take a hit. All right.
Mm-hmm.
That's my philosophy. All right.
So today, I think we're gonna close it off with a "Where did he play?"
Oh, all right.
Segment where James is going to have to guess where this NFL player went to college, and you would say you're pretty confident in this.
Yeah, I would say I'm probably gonna go 100%. Probably.
So we're gonna give him. What do you want? 5 today?
We'll go 5.
We're gonna give him 5.
You should start with like an easy one and like work your way up a little bit.
Yeah, I got you. Let me find a different roster. All right.
I know you're gonna pull out some crazy stuff.
For the rest or for the first one?
I just know somebody's gonna be played in college for like South Chattanooga State or something.
I will give you all like schools I know.
Okay.
You probably don't know all this.
Has there ever been a D3 player who went to the NFL?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Trying to think of a name. Because believe me, I would not be able to guess the D3.
All right, are you ready?
Yep.
Where did
Come on, man.
I forget what team he's on. Where did Von Miller
Oh,
go to college?
he's kind of an older guy. I didn't really grow up watching him in college. Trying to think. Von Miller.
He was in the SEC.
Okay. I feel like he's like an Auburn guy.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M? Yeah, I did not know that.
Texas A&M.
I didn't grow up watching him, though. That's my excuse for that one.
What do you mean you didn't grow up watching him?
I didn't grow up watching him. He's been in the league forever.
I mean, he was a Super Bowl MVP.
I mean, yeah, like 2015.
Okay.
Forever. I'm not saying he's not a good player. He's a great player.
All right. Where did Derek Carr go to
Oh,
college?
Fresno State.
Yep.
That's easy money.
Who was he teammates with for a bonus?
Devontae.
Devontae Adams.
Yep. Devontae Adams, he was a Packer, man. I know my stuff about the Packers.
Devontae Adams is my favorite receiver in the NFL.
He's so talented. The way he moves his hips.
He's the best receiver in the league.
Oh, yeah.
Agree? Like,
Yeah.
if we're not looking at stats, like the
No,
dude,
he's like the most talented.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like I went and watched him play against the Colts on New Year's Eve, and like he was always open. Like
Yeah.
you know how receivers say like, I mean, I'll say it, I'm always open.
Yeah, but he's always open.
The dude was always open. Like every play that he got the ball, he was wide open.
I mean, just the way he moves his hips and like
Uh-huh.
can change his direction so quick.
Change of speed, change of momentum, change of position. Like he does it all.
Everything. His
And he
back
do-
shoulder fade, his back shoulder
Ooh.
fade connection with Aaron Rodgers was, I mean,
It's different.
fourth down, all we had to do every time, back shoulder fade to Devontae. That's just how it worked.
I mean, it was a lethal combo. Speaking of which, did you see? I'm pretty sure I saw that Garrett Wilson changed his number
Really?
from 17 to 5, and that begs the question: will we see a Devontae Adams trade to the Jets?
Will we see a Devontae? That's crazy stuff. But also, I think Garrett Wilson was just number 5 in college.
He was. But like,
It
why
could
would
be.
he? Why would he
Why
change
would he
it
change
now?
it though? I don't know. We'll have to talk about that on a later podcast once the
Maybe.
NFL season's over.
Um.
It would make sense for both teams.
So what are you at? 2? Yeah. Derek Carr.
50%.
So you're 1 for 2. Okay. I know this one. Where did Chuba Hubbard, a running back
Yes.
on the Carolina
The
Panthers, go to college?
I believe it was Oklahoma State.
That is correct.
Yep. He was almost. I mean, I feel like he was pretty close to being a Heisman candidate that year.
He was.
I don't know if he was, but
He was. I think he had a really good year because
he had a fantastic.
I
year.
watched because ESPN Plus had like a docuseries that season,
Yeah,
and like he was like the main guy.
yeah, because he's a stud.
Yeah, and I like was watching like a Panthers game. I was like, oh, I know that guy. I'm gonna give you. Wait, what's that? 2 for 3.
2 for 3.
All right, so you need 2 more. Let's go with the Bengals.
Oh, I like that. An Ohio team. I'm familiar with them.
Where did... Let's find a defensive player for you.
Ooh, I like that. I'm not very good with
Your side of the
defensive
ball.
player in the
Your side
league,
of the
but
ball. Where did... I need to find a player I know.
Yeah, don't make it some random backup or something I've never heard of.
Where did Sam Hubbard go to school?
Sam Hubbard. Wasn't he? He was a Buckeye, right?
He was a Buckeye.
Back in 2014, 2015. He won a chip with us, I believe.
So that's 4 for 5.
No, 3 for 4. I got one more.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. All right, let's end on the Packers.
Oh, all
Let's see
right.
if you
This
know.
is perfect.
And I'm going to give you a player that I don't know, which is scary because you probably know more than I do.
I would hope so. I might have to ask for a position if I don't know the name.
And I probably won't give it to you.
Maybe if I'm really, really big. I feel pretty confident with the Packers, though.
Where did...
It's going to be like a defensive tackle or something.
Where did Jonathan Owens go to college?
Oh, Jonathan Owens. Oh, it's an ACC team, right?
I have no idea.
Oh, you don't know?
I don't know the college.
You don't know this college?
I've never really heard of it. Oh, let me look it up. I'll give you the conference.
All right. Well, I was thinking it was I don't know why, but I was thinking it was a red team, but I could be wrong on that. What'd you get?
That can't be right. They're in the MIAA.
Well.
The Division I MIAA.
Oh. I know he's dating Simone Biles, so.
Is he really?
Yeah. Yeah, I can't believe you didn't know that.
I did not know that.
Yep, Chiefs got Taylor Swift, we got Simone, so.
Fair enough. All right, do you have a guess?
Well, you said it wasn't in the ACC, so. Jonathan Owens. Wait, so it is D1?
Yes.
Wait, can you name the conference? You said it was MIAA, but I don't know what that is.
It's the Mid-American Intercollegiate Athletics Association.
All right, I'm going to look it up. I'm going to look at some teams because I can't actually name.
Oh, wait, it's D2. It's D2.
Oh, it's D2?
It's D2.
Well, I'm going to need to look up the teams then, see if any of them are familiar. MIAA, D2?
Yeah.
The Mid-America? Okay. Let's take a look. I don't think I've ever heard of any of these teams, but we'll see. Oh, come on. Come on now. We got, yeah, these teams are not looking familiar. I don't know. Just give it to me.
He went to Missouri Western.
Missouri Western. Wow. Yeah, I wasn't going to get that one.
Yeah.
Missouri Western. That dude's a
But
stud,
the fact that you were able to tell me that he's dating Simone Biles, that's good enough.
Come on, give me something here. Give me something.
James Ruppel ended up with 3.5 points.
Yes.
Which was better than the test run we did last week.
Yeah, I was at like 2 last week.
I think you got 1, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, because you told me like which conference and stuff one of them was. So
it was the defensive player on the Raiders. Max
Crosby.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Eastern Michigan. Yeah. But hey, now we know.
Yeah. Now you know. If you didn't know, now you know.
Yep.
So now you can
Jonathan
tell all your
Owens.
friends.
What is it? West Missouri.
Missouri Western.
Missouri Western. So if anyone asked. All right, that about wraps it up.
Yeah, that'll about do it for us. Thank you guys for watching. James, it's been a pleasure for episode 1. Hopefully many more coming this way.
That's the goal.
Thank you guys for watching, and we will catch you next time.